Welcome back to another Florida State Simicast. This is going to be a practice report for day 3 of fall practice. I thought I was going to get on here later in the week, perhaps after the open practice on Sunday, but some things came to light last night as I was reading the practice reports. And that is, well, number one, DeMarcus Christmas was carted off the field yesterday. Jimbo was quoted as saying he did not see what happened. This was at the end of practice. But needless to say, if DeMarcus Christmas, and if you're listening to this, you don't know who DeMarcus Christmas is, he is the starting defensive tackle for Florida State, potential breakout candidate. Hopefully, his injury isn't serious. Hell, hopefully it was just maybe some heat exhaustion, because this is a big man, and he just had to be helped off the field. But of course, like many fans, I'm fearing the worst, especially for that type of player. Like, why couldn't it have been like, I don't know, the fifth string receiver getting carted off? No offense to the fifth string receiver, but not DeMarcus Christmas, not the defensive line. I mean, that's where the game's won and lost, at the line of scrimmage. So hopefully that is not serious, because that would kind of suck ass, needless to say. Other things about the practice: there was a shuffle in the offensive line, just as I thought there would be. This is going to be nearly a daily occurrence for a while. Day one, you saw Bell and Rubel on the right side. Rubel being the egregious what the fuck. The second day, it was Cole Minshew and Rick Leonard. And I think today it went back to Bell and Rubel on the right side. I know Rubel was on the right side today. Again, I don't think it's nothing to even think twice about. There's going to be shuffling, tons of shuffling, especially considering how much offensive line depth this team now has. There is now 19 offensive linemen on scholarship, by far the most in the Jimbo Fisher era. And it's a good thing. It's a great thing. I mean, when you can roll out sets of offensive linemen that are actually high quality, and have the ones go against the threes and the twos go against the fours, and actually have like good competition and give guys rest, especially on the first and second teams, then it's kind of awesome. So I'm not worried about the line shuffling, but that continued today. Logan Tyler and Ricky Aguayo continued to both take field goals. And something else of note that struck me, and this was mentioned on the Jeff Cameron show on ESPN Tallahassee, was Sean McGuire appears to be walking around with a limp. And I actually noticed this, I think after day 1 of practice, when I was going through the videos that are available through the various Seminole websites. It was some little drill where they basically run whatever play, and the entire team kind of walks it out, and then the QB turns around and heads back up the sideline to kind of get back in line to do it again after the guy in front of him goes. And so as McGuire is kind of turning around and kind of just jogging upfield, I remember looking like, is he limping a little bit? Like there's like a slight hitch in his giddy up, as some people like to call it. And of course, what Jeff Cameron was talking about, and this is what I thought too when I saw his limp, was this isn't a QB competition. It's done, folks. Francois is going to be the quarterback. I mean, it sucks that he's not fully healed from his surgery, but to me, there's no way he has a genuine shot at winning this job when he's still limping around. I mean, I thought Francois would win the job outright, regardless of Smag's health. But now that this is an issue, I don't see how Francois doesn't win it. Jimbo's not going to say anything otherwise. And come Sunday, when the practice is open, you're probably going to get a lot of reports from the FSU beat reporters mentioning his limp. I don't see how his limp goes away in just a matter of days, if it hasn't gone away in months since his surgery. So that is kind of big news, honestly. I mean, I think it's a worst kept secret that Francois will probably start. even though Jimbo seems genuine in this true competition. But Smag's he's not right. He's just not right. So those are two big things today. DeMarcus Christmas getting carted off. Don't know the extent of the injury. Find out today, I'm sure, during the afternoon practice. I'm assuming they have a practice today. And the Smag situation and the QB competition. Derwin James returned to the field. He wasn't full go, he wasn't knocking into people, but he was participating and doing some drills. And Jimbo said that he's fully healed. His heel, actually, his foot, is good to go, but the muscles around it, could have atrophy from simply not being used, of course. So they kind of want to just ease him into it, which is smart, man. Yesterday was what? August 11th. There's no reason to rush what I think and what many people think is the best defensive player on this team. Just take it easy, but it's good to know that Jimbo wasn't blowing smoke up our asses when he said James would be back soon. It took all of a couple days before he was back on that practice field. No one else of really note was listed on the injury report. There's a couple guys still out, but no one that I really putting my head down about. Just, thank goodness. But that could change with the DeMarcus Christmas news today. Crossing my fingers. It's bad when I'm hoping that somebody had heat exhaustion, but I'm honestly hoping it's that because he was going to be a huge part of this team if he's lost. Try not to be pessimistic. Yeah, excuse me, but it's tough. And today is the 24-day mark till Ole Miss. I misspoke yesterday and said 24. I think I followed that up with saying it might be 25. But anyway, today, yes, we. I'm going to say we. People like to bitch when a fan says we to like include themselves. I did that when I was young. Then I stopped for many years because I'm just like, I'm not a part of the team. I don't. It's kind of almost pathetic to say we. Like, wow. But at this point, it's almost like being a grammar Nazi. Like, fuck it, I'm gonna say we on occasion. You know, just people that don't like it, get over it. I know I'm not part of the team, but I get tired of constantly trying to say them, the Knowles, Florida State. Fuck it, I'm going back to we when I want to do it. So we only have 24 days left till the season starts. Good fucking times. Well, I'm going to wrap that up. That was kind of just a brief summary of the third day of practice. And nothing you would think is really loud that happened, but those are kind of two notable things that happened yesterday. They're kind of haven't blown up yet. Of course, don't know Christmas's thing yet, so that's probably why. But QB competition is over, in my opinion. And crossing the fingers on good old Xmas. Thanks for listening. Feel free to subscribe. This has been another Florida State Semicast.